Just panning. It's one of my favorite little creeks out here. And I'm gonna get right down to the nitty-gritty of panning and give you some tips on a lifetime of doing it. Now, I know a lot of times I just take it for granted that, you know, I've been doing it all my life, and it's kind of like driving a car or riding a bicycle. Once you get it, you got it. So I'm gonna set up here. I got my gold pan, and I got a bunch of other pans here I'm gonna show you how to use. I'm just gonna take a shovel full of creek gravel right out of the creek. And I'm gonna put it in my classifier right here in my pan. Now, you don't have to classify your material, but classifying your material makes it easier to get your gold out of there. Now, I'm gonna classify this material. Now, the reason why I'm got this screen with these holes in here, and I'm classifying it down, because you can have a little piece of gold, and that little piece of gold is heavy. It's 19 times heavier than water. It's twice as heavy as lead. So if you've had a lead fishing weight in your hand, you know what that feels like. And that little piece of gold, it's heavy, and the reason why we're able to trap it inside our pans is because it wants to go down to the bottom. The heavies want to sink down to the bottom, and the light stuff wants to come up to the top. It wants to stratify. And so by screening off these larger rocks, you take these larger rocks, it makes it harder for that little piece of gold to sit on top of that rock and ride around and not be able to work its way down into the bottom of your pan. So you screen off these larger rocks, it makes it easier for the finer particles of gold to go down and get trapped inside your pan. Now, a lot of times if you've got clay and you've got rocks that got, you know, especially crevices and places where you've got that little dirt that's stuck to the rocks, you want to clean those off before you screen them off. You make sure that you've got that material. So I'm just screening this down, and that's just a pretty simple process. It's just washing the material. So we'll just take that, set it off to the side. Now, I've got my pan here of material, and the first thing that you want to do is get it all semi-liquid. You want to loosen that material up. You want to get it down in the water. You want to break up any clay balls, any pieces of moss or grass or anything. You want to just break it all up so it's all liquefied and all loose, and then give it a good vigorous action. Problem that a lot of people make is they don't give your pan enough action. They're too chintzy. You sit here and just go a little bit and a little bit, and you're not giving it a lot of action. You want a lot. If a little bit spills over the side, no problem. Just a little bit is fine, but you're just loosening that material up, trying to take that heavy gold and put it down on the bottom and bring the lighter material up to the top. Loosening that material. Now, I'm using the Gold Catcher pan. This is the pan that my dad designed. Now, one of the first pans that came out that were of this style, let me grab some of my pans over here, was this one right here. This is a Garrett Gravity Trap pan, and they came out with these pans with the traps in here. And what that trap does is it makes it easier for saving gold inside your pan. So what I'm going to do is just show you how easy it is to use these pans. I've got a copper pan here, and I've got 5 little BBs in there. You see those little BBs in my copper pan? And I'm going to just put those 5 BBs right here on top. Now, gold is twice as heavy as these BBs, and I'm just going to drop them right there on the top. Now, this is a great way to learn how to pan and practice your panning, is just take some of those BBs and drop them in a pan. When you could save those BBs, you could save gold, because that gold is going to be twice as heavy as those BBs. So that's a good way to practice, and I'm just dropping them in there to show you how they go down, and we'll pull them out later. Now, I've got my BBs. I'm going to get back here to my pan. Now, you can see my riffles right here. Once you get all your material aerated, I got my gold, which I think is in the pan, and my BBs down on the bottom. I'm going to turn it towards these riffles, and I'm going to work the material off of those riffles. So I'm semi-liquid. I'm not so far down here under the water where I can't really see stuff. And then I'm not up here out of the water. See how it locks up and you can't get the right action on it. This is a mistake a lot of people make when they first start out, is they get their material up here and they're trying to pan out of the water. They're trying to dip the water and they're trying to pan up here, and the material will lock up on them. You want to stay just right, semi-liquid. And really, you're letting the water do the work for you. You're letting the water wash the light stuff off, and the gold that's heavy is staying inside your pan. So you point it towards those riffles, and you slowly start working that material off of those riffles. Now, I'm working the light stuff off. I'll bring the water in, let the water wash the light stuff off. Just keep slurring it, slurring the material, and that light stuff will just work its way off out of your pan. Now, I like to use one hand when I get down to this stage because it works a lot in the wrist. And then I'm just washing the light material. Now, see how the black sand starts to show up? This place got lots of black sand, and black sand is where you usually find gold. You usually find black sand too, but you don't necessarily always find gold when you find black sand. You follow me on that? Because that black sand's an iron sand. It's a heavier sand. So where the heavies like to bunch up, that's where gold likes to bunch up. Slurry it, and there's my blonde sands again coming back up to the top. Slurrying that material, keeping working on that focal point. Water action coming in, going out, a little bit of shake action, but the water is what's flowing the material out. I'm not pouring it out, I'm not dumping it out, I'm letting the water flow that light stuff off out of there. Re-stratify, back to the blonde sands coming to the surface. I'll get rid of all those blonde sands, bring it back again, re-stratify. Back with the blonde sands, they're going on out. Now, you get to these where you got these bigger rocks in here. You get to see these little bigger rocks? You take those bigger rocks, you pick those up, and you just throw them right out of there. You're just picking those bigger rocks and throwing them right out. Now, I'm getting down to pretty small amount of material. Now, I'll show you a little trick. Usually don't use this trick when you're just sample panning, but when you're cleaning up, when you've got a lot of black sands, and I got a lot of black sands, you notice it's just almost all pretty much black sand in there. When you got all these black sands, a lot of times that black sand is magnetite, and you can hit it, bring it back here, and you can take a magnet. A lot of places they make these little plungers, and inside here is a magnet, and you push down and that pushes the magnet down to the bottom part of this plunger. But you could push that plunger down and you run it over the top of that black sand, and look at the magnetite you get. See, all that's black sand that is magnetic, and it sticks to my magnet. And then I could take and just drop that into another pan, but it's a good way to get a lot of this magnetite outside of your pan, and then you don't have to pan it. I'm back down here re-stratifying it, working it into that focal point in the bottom of the pan. I'm using my riffles. I'm down to the last nitty-gritty. Now see how those BBs, they just hang right in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 BBs right there in the focal point of my pan. That's exactly where you want them. So I'm gonna take it down just a little bit more, and now I'm gonna do my fanning action, and that's why I really like these pans, is because you can really get in there and get a good look. So I'm bringing my material back, and there's my fine flour gold. Here's my BBs, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 BBs. I'll just pluck those out. Those are real easy to save. Now, that's, like I said before, a good way to practice your panning. So now I've got my gold here and my black sands. I can take my little plunger here and take some more of that black sand out of there. See, I got it on there. And work a little bit more of that out of there. So that's just less material I gotta work with. Now, you fan your material back. Notice how the gold, the yellow stuff in this pan, stays up there in the top part of the pan. Now I'm losing a little bit's coming down here, but the majority of it's up here, and the black sand, which is lighter, is pulling away from it. Now I'll use that, and I can pretty much pull almost all that black sand away on my first volley here. Now notice there goes all the black sand, and now you're just left with that yellow sand in there. You see that yellow stuff? That's all gold right there. That's a pretty nice shovel full right there. That's all your yellow gold. So you take that yellow gold and you put it inside your snuffer bottle. So you take your snuffer bottle, you put some water in it, suck it up, we'll get some water in here, and then you can use your snuffer bottle in the water, kind of like a little mini hydraulic, and blow that gold right over there to the edge. Now that's just pretty much all just yellow gold right there, and then you put a suction on there, and it's just sucking it up. It's like a little mini dredge, or a little vacuum cleaner, and now all that yellow gold that was in my pan, it's all now inside my snuffer bottle. So now I got it inside my snuffer bottle. I take my little glass vial here, I open up my snuffer bottle, I pull the straw out of my snuffer bottle. So now see the little straw comes out, and I set that aside. Now my snuffer bottle is just open. There's nothing holding it. It's just a big old hole there. And I'll put that back on there, and I'll put a little bit of water inside my vial, and I'll tilt that up, stick that in there, and shake all that gold right down inside my vial. And I'll pull that up and put the lid on my vial, and there you go. There's my nice clean gold inside my vial. Now there's a little black sand in there. I could work it down a little bit more and get that little black sand out of there, but that's majority of the gold. There's still some gold inside my pan, but that's gold right out of the creek right there. You could get this kind of gold with a pan all over the place. There's lots of places all across the country to get this kind of gold, that fine flour gold. That's the way to go with one of these pans. You know, you get started joining the GPAA. That's the Gold Prospectors Association of America. My dad started that organization back in 1968, and they've been promoting this kind of recreational style prospecting and small scale mining for years and years. And they're a good stand-up organization to get involved with, because they're out there fighting for our right to go out and use public land and create places to go out prospecting and get kids out there and get us old folks out there and get people out in the outdoors to enjoy Mother Nature and all the beauty that's out here. Get out there and do some panning. You know, these pans are cheap. You can take it with you when you go out there kayaking, fishing, hunting, backpacking, bird watching, butterfly catching, bugs snagging, frog gigging, whatever you're doing in the outdoors, and you're out there and you're looking over and like, boy, that looks like it might be a place where there might be some gold. I'd take your pan, do a little bit of sampling. You'd be surprised at what you find. I get so many people come up and say, we checked the creek in our backyard or down there and we found gold. And they didn't even think about it before, and there's gold all across the country, and finding this little flour gold like this, pretty doggone easy, I tell you. Getting the big stuff, now you're talking. I won't tell you the gold's going to jump up and hop right in your pocket, but if you get that mindset and catch that gold fever and get out there and always keep thinking about gold, you know, a little sample here, a little sample there, you're going to come across it, and it's a wonderful thing to get that fever out there in the outdoors and get kids out there and old folks out there and enjoy Mother Nature and all beautiful God's creations out here out prospecting. It'll take you to a lot of wonderful places, and maybe even put some coin in your pocket from time to time. So think about it, get involved in prospecting, and I tell you, it's a lot of fun. Till next time, old Tom here signing off, and enjoy the outdoors and think about getting into prospecting, and look up and give thanks to the good Lord every now and then, and take time to smell the roses.